Right now, the person across from you doesn't need to be smarter to beat you. They just need to move you. If they can speed your voice, they can spend your judgment. If they can raise your pulse, they can rent your decisions. If they can make you explain, they can set your price. That's how most confrontations are lost. Not by logic, by motion. Machiavelli understood this when thrones were decided by a glance. He didn't teach courage as noise. He taught custody as law. Custody of breath, custody of posture, custody of reply. Stay unshaken and power drifts to you. Shake first and you pay in outcomes you didn't choose. You think you need better comebacks. You don't. You need a nervous system that obeys you while the room hunts for your buttons. This is the lesson. Confrontation is not a debate. It is a frame fight. Frames decide whose reality is the default. The loud one isn't always winning. The fast one isn't always strong. The ruler is the one whose state stays unchanged while others negotiate with their heartbeat. You have a custody problem. Today, we fix it. You will stop talking like a petition and start speaking like weather. You will stop seeking agreement and start imposing tempo. You will stop trying to win the crowd and start making the room rearrange itself around your stillness. The first rule of being unshaken: do not take the first offer your body gives you. Your body will offer speed, decline. Your body will offer explanation, decline. Your body will offer laughter to bleed tension, decline. Accept only what you commanded in calm hours. You are training a sovereign response, not a mood, a method. 3 pillars: breath, body, boundaries. Breath is the steering wheel of your state. Body is the billboard of your authority. Boundaries are the edges that make your words land. If one breaks, the others breed. Start with breath because your mouth lies when your lungs are afraid. You will breathe out before you speak, always. 1 beat longer than you want. The exhale drops your pitch by a note. The note tells the room, nothing urgent controls me. When you're hit with heat, a jab, a low ball, a public correction, you do not inhale like prey. You exhale like weather. Calm leaves the mouth first. Words follow. The second pillar is body, not theatrics, geometry. Still shoulders, slow head turns, hands that move less than your sentences. Predators don't flutter, they measure. You think posture is vanity. It's signaling. Signaling writes your price before you open your mouth. Sit back by an inch when challenged. It looks like arrogance. It is architecture. You're telling the room you will not be dragged into their pace. The third pillar is boundaries, words that function as walls. Not because you yell them, because you repeat them without apology. Rush rate or standard. That's phase 2 or an add-on. That's short, final, binary, silence after. Your silence is not empty. It is an invoice. Let them pay it. You will be tempted to show your intelligence. Don't. Confrontations are not IQ tests. They are custody checks. 2 truths you must accept if you want to stop shaking. Truth 1. People don't need to defeat you. They just need to make you perform. Truth 2. You don't need to outtalk them. You need to outlast their attempts to move you. So we'll turn your identity into a fortress where attempts fail. Machiavelli didn't beg for respect. He arranged incentives and enforced endings. He appeared open while defending the throne, appeared generous while guarding the treasury, appeared flexible while protecting the law. Your throne is your mission. Your treasury is your time and terms. Your law is your standard. Confrontation is an audit of all 3. If you get this wrong, you lose in predictable ways. Here are the 5 attacks that shake most people, and the inversions that make them bounce off you. Attack 1. Speed. They rush. They stack urgency. They talk quickly to make you chase their tempo. Inversion. Slow by a third. Breathe out before your first word. Reduce your sentence to 7 words or fewer. Rush rate or standard date. Silence. Attack 2. Volume. They get loud to signal dominance. They throw your name in sentences like a leash. Inversion. Lower pitch, lower volume, shorter lines. If interrupted, you stop, look, finish once. If it happens again, end the meeting. Attack 3. Bait. They say something outrageous just to watch you bleed arguments. They accuse, they dramatize, they perform. Inversion. Don't tug the rope. Drop it. That's incorrect. The decision stands. No diary, no defense. Attack 4. Guilt. They moralize your boundaries. Repeat it once, then return to the decision. Attack 5. Flattery. They butter your spine and reach for a discount. No one does it like you. Just this once. Inversion. Thank you. Compliment accepted. Frame intact. Memorize these inversions until your mouth can deploy them without asking your fear for permission. No. Reasoning is a luxury after law. Explain when they earn it with alignment, not before. If you're thinking, this sounds cold, you're hearing it correctly. Cold is controlled. Cold keeps medicine sterile. Cold makes infection unlikely. Being unshaken is not about being emotionless. It's about refusing to spend emotion where it buys you nothing. From now on, your baseline in any confrontation is a 3-step choreography. Freeze, frame, finish. Freeze. Exhale. Drop pitch. Hold 5 seconds before you answer. Your face doesn't argue. Your eyes don't plead. Frame. Name the mission or the rule that matters. Finish. Issue the decision in 1 sentence. Offer a binary if it serves you. End with silence. Count to 5. Do not rescue them from the discomfort. This alone will make most confrontations short, because most people were there for your performance, not for your policy. Good. Then you see who was buying drama and who was buying outcomes. You wanted tactical examples. You will get them. But first, we weld these behaviors into your bones with drills. Drill 1, the stone breath. Before every call or meeting, 3 cycles. Inhale for 4, exhale for 6. Then say nothing for 5 seconds. Get comfortable with the quiet you used to fear. Drill 2, the 2-sentence decree. All decisions by text or email this week must be 2 sentences or less. 1 link, 1 date. Your brain will reach for paragraphs. Break its hand. Drill 3, the chair test. Sit with both feet planted, back an inch from the chair. When challenged, lean back by ½ an inch. End sentences with still hands. You're teaching your body not to sprint when hunted. Drill 4, the interruption blade. Ask a friend to interrupt you twice. On the first, you pause and finish once. Then you stand up and leave the room. Exits carve respect deeper than rebuttals. Drill 5, the silence invoice. Say a decision and hold 5 seconds of silence twice a day. Let your own discomfort burn off. If you can't sit with your silence, you'll pay with your words. Now, let's map the most common rooms you walk into and the default that keeps you unshaken. Room, low anchor negotiation. They toss a cheap number and smile like they're doing you a favor. Default. We can reduce scope to match that number or keep scope at my rate. Then stop. No TED Talk about your worth. Price teaches faster than essays. Room, public panel or team meeting. Someone corrects you with confidence instead of evidence. Default. That's incorrect. The decision stands. Stand. Leave. Room. Manufactured emergency. They failed upstream and want you to bleed downstream. Default. Speed is available at the rush rate. Repeat it like weather. Weather doesn't argue. It announces. Room. Process fishing. Default. We discuss goals, constraints, and budget. If they won't name the budget, they aren't ready for the outcome. You're not a museum of free explanations. Room. Internal politics. Someone triangulates decisions around you. Default. Decisions resolve at the source. Backchannel games die when light arrives. You will slip. You will over-explain. You will laugh to ease the room and lose the room. You are human. When that happens, do not drown in shame. Execute the 24-hour salvage. Neutralize. Within 24 hours, raise the floor on the next slot, add the clause, close the leaky corridor, and the thread. If you delay, your nervous system will lie and call it kindness. It's capture. Correct fast. Remember, being unshaken is not about being liked. It's about making mishandling you expensive. People respect cost more than they respect speeches. They calibrate to the person who refuses to self-bargain. You wanted the Machiavellian in this. Here it is without the costume. Appear approachable, be gated. Appear generous, be scheduled. Appear flexible, be welded to mission. Authority is not volume. Authority is sequence, breath, posture, boundary, decision, silence, ending. Do not confuse calm with weakness. Calm is the frame in which you cut. Yes, care on schedule, care within scope, care after deposit. If you truly care about outcomes, you will protect the conditions that produce them. Slow pace, low pitch, short decisions, hard endings. You are not here to win every argument. You are here to make your reality the one that survives the room. And it begins inside you, not with a mantra, with a moment, right now. Exhale, lower your pitch by a note. Again, now imagine the confrontation you dread most. Picture their face, their speed, their volume, their bait. Freeze, frame, finish. You will carry this choreography into the real thing, and your body will remember. You'll get the exact switchboard for high-heat confrontations. How to read a frame in 10 seconds, the 5 questions that turn traps into daylight, the 3 sentences that end games without raising your voice, and the micro cues that flip your state from prey to sovereign mid-sentence. Watch closely. You said, right now. Every confrontation lives on a 10-second clock, not theirs, yours. If you spend those seconds chasing their speed, you'll spend the next hour repairing your mouth. If you spend those seconds arranging your state, you'll spend the next hour arranging the room. 10 seconds decides if you're prey or sovereign. You will use them. Second one, exhale. Not a sip of air like a deer, a release like weather. Your body learns you are not for sale. Second two, drop your pitch by a note. Calm is heavier than volume. A low note makes urgency look silly. Second three, widen your focus by an inch. See the table, not the face. Predators don't stare at bait. Second 4, name the battlefield. Is this a test of definition or dominance? Definition needs questions. Dominance needs decisions. Second 5, assess tempo. Are they stacking speed? You slow by a third. Are they dragging? You deliver one clean line. Second 6, hunt the lever. Money, scope, date, authority. One of these is the real game. If you miss it, you'll fight phantoms. Second 7, choose your weapon. Question or verdict. Do not mix them in one breath. Second 8, select the frame. Mission, not mood. Second 9, script the line. 7 words or fewer. Final, not friendly. Second 10, silence for 1 beat before you speak. That pause is the bill. Make them pay it. Now you're inside the room, with your pulse in your pocket. Time to turn traps into daylight. 5 questions collapse most confrontations without heat. Ask any 2 and hold the silence long enough to feel rude. If they can't answer, it isn't a confrontation. It's theater. You don't perform for free. Pair those with the 3 sentences that end games without raising your voice. Rush rate or standard date. Add 2 auxiliary blades for stubborn rooms. That's incorrect. The decision stands. That's your switchboard. Questions for definition, decisions for dominance, silence for gravity, endings for law. But you need micro cues or your fear will steal the wheel. Here they are, small and brutal. Before you speak, exhale through your nose. It lowers your pitch without theatrics.
Set your feet flat. If you lift your heels, your voice will try to sprint. Keep your hands quieter than your sentences. If your hands preach, your spine is lying. Tilt your head once when challenged. It looks like curiosity. It is control. And every decision with stillness. Stillness is punctuation the nervous respect. Remove these hedges from your mouth for the next 7 days. Just, maybe, I think, if that makes sense, sorry, quick one, I might be wrong, but they are escape hatches. Burn them. Now, live confrontations. No theory. We cut. The interrupter. They cut you mid-idea to seize the frame. You stop, look at them, not the crowd. Finish once. At half speed. Stand, leave. Exits educate faster than essays. The low anchor. They throw a cheap number and smile like charity. We can reduce scope to match your number or keep scope at my rate. Silence. No memoir about your value. Price is a better teacher than pride. The gaslight. They frame your boundary as ego. Why so strict? Repeat once. The crowd play. They appeal to everyone's view to corner you. Then the binary. Scope or date.
The urgency bomb. They failed upstream and push panic downstream. Speed is available at the rush rate. Weather. Weather doesn't argue, it announces. The public correction. They fix you loudly without substance. That's incorrect. The decision stands. Stand. Leave. Rooms remember exits more than monologues. The bosses stretch. Take on more scope. What metric and date earn the title? If they blur the signer, I'll accept with title and comp or keep current scope. I don't do unscoped favors. Tuesday at 2 or Thursday at 10. Gates turn friends into adults. Users disappear. The panel trap. Moderator rushes you. Appear peacocks. Exhale. Silence. End or repeat the decision. Do not join their talent show. Now we install choreography so your state flips mid-sentence when ambushed. Pray, sovereign flip. Exhale for 6. Drop pitch 1 note. Cut your sentence length in half. Replace explanation with a binary. Stop. Sovereign, surgeon flip when you must clarify without losing gravity. Inhale slow. Add 1 noun-heavy question. Flat ending. Count 5. Let the room work. You will forget this under heat if you haven't trained it cold. So we drill. Drill. 10-second scan. Before every call, whisper. Definition or dominance. Lever, weapon. Hold 5 seconds. Enter. Drill. Interrupt me twice. Ask a friend to interrupt you 2 times in a role play. Stand up. Walk to the door. Return and practice being warm after being final. Warmth returns only after law. Drill. 2-sentence decree. For a week, every decision by text/email is less than 2 sentences. 1 link. 1 date. Your brain will beg for a 3rd sentence. Ignore it like an addict begging for a sip. Drill. Ending reps. End 1 thing early each week. A meandering call. A thread that won't die. A tiny tweak that wants your blood. Endings make your nervous system trust you. Rush rate or standard date. That's phase 2 or an add-on. You need messaging protocol too, because words on screens shake people more than rooms do. Body is bone. 1 decision, 1 link, 1 date. No hedges. No emoji bomb for your fear. If someone demands paragraphs, you're back in a debate. You don't debate. You decide. After you decide, silence is policy. Hold 5 seconds on calls. Hold hours via your calendar. 2 windows weekly. Everything else is closed. No signer, no meeting, no deposit, no date. Missed appointments move to the back.
Exceptions are priced or scheduled. Correct. Difficulty is the price of mishandling you. Kindness with a calendar is still kindness. Kindness without a calendar is a buffet. Machiavelli again, without cosplay. He taught rulers to separate appearance from law. Appear approachable, be gated. Appear generous, be governed by rules. Appear flexible, be welded to mission. Your approachability lives in your tone. Your gates live in your terms. Your generosity lives in your schedule. Your flexibility lives inside scope and fees, not inside fear. Now the subtle arena, when the confrontation hides in a compliment. Thank you. Rush rate or standard date. No smile to soften it. Softening is a coupon your nerves print. Confusion noted. That's phase 2 or an add-on. If they say, "We thought you were more collaborative," you don't argue morality. Silence. Then you repeat your line. No debate about halos. You will be tempted to rescue the room from your silence. Don't. Silence is the part of your sentence that lands. Let it work. And when you slip, because you will, you redeem within 24 hours. Neutralize. Raise the floor on the next slot. Add the applause. Close the leaky corridor. End the thread. Publish an outcome. Metrics end self-deception. Track weekly. Switch time. Seconds from impact to first exhale plus decision. Goal under 10. Silence count. Number of 5-second pauses after your decisions. Goal daily. Window integrity. Percent of protected hours kept. Goal greater than 90. Scope discipline. Tweaks priced or moved to phase 2. Goal all. Aftermath leverage. Slights converted into assets. Case studies, clauses, rate raises, waitlist growth. Goal weekly. You're being captured. Correct in 24 hours. Finally, rehearse your worst case until your pulse stops lying. Picture the face that shakes you. Picture their speed, their volume, their bait. Run the choreography. Exhale. Drop pitch. Choose weapon. Say the line. Hold 5. Repeat once if needed. End if mocked. Again. 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 The room is not your enemy. Your untrained reflex is. Train it until it obeys you under fire. We'll stage the hardest scenes, executive ambushes, public pylons, manufactured consensus, family guilt, and show you how to stay unshaken while switching frames twice in 60 seconds. Then close with the command your competitors fear because it divides performers from rulers in one line. Watch closely. Right now, confrontations don't break you with facts. They break you with endings you don't control. They rush the clock. They crowd the mic. They bait your pride. They make you perform. You don't win these by being right. You win them by being still, by choosing frames, by ending on law. Hook in. Because this is the chamber where pressure fails, where executive ambushes die in one line, where public pylons evaporate under calm gravity, where guilt loses the steering wheel, where you switch frames twice in 60 seconds and never raise your pulse. Start with the worst one, the executive ambush. A senior walks in late, sets a cheap number on the table like charity, adds a clock. We have 5 minutes. Your old self would sprint, justify, overprove, bleed. Not today. Freeze. Exhale. Drop your pitch. Let 2 seconds pass like a curtain falling. Frame it. This is dominance. Decisions, not diaries. You deliver the blade. We can reduce scope to match that number or keep scope at my rate. Silence. You do not rescue them from paying it. You do not defend your sanity. You defend the law. Rush rate or standard date. You name the lever. Signer on funds confirms by Friday. Then stop. Ambush ended, not by heat, by sequence. Next circle of hell. Public pylon. 3 people talk over you. Moderator smiles like a referee who likes chaos. A peer performs volume. Your reflex wants to fight on their stage. Decline. Exhale. Lower by a note. Silence. If they stack noise, that's incorrect. The decision stands. If interruption returns, we're off mission. Stand. Leave. Rooms remember exits more than monologues. Harsh is what people call gravity when they're used to floating. Manufactured consensus is next. The team feels. Everyone thinks. The crowd is a costume for a weak argument. You don't argue with ghosts. You unmask them. End early. The room will learn to bring adults. Now the softest trap. Family guilt. They aren't evil. They're practiced. You keep love. You keep law. Outcome. Deadline. Tuesday at 2 or Thursday at 10. Repeat once. Return to the choice. Silence. Let affection learn a gate. Private ambush. Backchannel DMs. You don't carry decisions where paper can't see them. We resolve at the source. One email. One decision. Link attached. No debate. Now the sequence you asked for. Switching frames twice in 60 seconds without shaking. They say, we need it Monday. Budget is tight. First 10 seconds. Exhale. Drop pitch. Define lever. Speed plus price. Dominance frame. Rush rate or standard date. They flinch. Second switch. Surgeon frame. One question. Hold 5. They mumble. Hold 5. If budget and signer are fog, return to lion. We share process after deposit. Openings are Tuesday at 2 or Thursday at 10. Silence. End if mocked. 2 switches. 1 pulse. Law intact. You want the hard ones with teeth? Take these. Executive one-on-one. Expand scope. What metric and date earn the title? If blurry, I'll accept with title and comp, or keep scope. Public correction with cameras. A peer clarifies you mid-sentence to farm clout. That's incorrect. Stand. Leave. Clout dies and exits. Procurement with a smile. 8 faces, no signer. End early if they shop for blueprints. My keen play is outcomes. Then the binary. Title and comp, or current scope. Client nostalgia. We go way back. Then, that's an add-on or phase 2. Speed is available at the rush rate. Now, the most manipulative frame. Virtue. They claim the moral high ground to bend your law. You do not argue halos. You return to mission. Then your line. Then silence. Worried about reputation? You don't defend in rumor rooms. You publish outcomes. They'll whisper the rules that saved you. The moment you feel the shake. Exhale for 6. Drop your pitch by 1 note. Name the test. Definition or dominance. Choose weapon, question, or verdict. Do not give it a drink. Hold 5. Repeat once if needed. End if the law is mocked. Do not give it a drink. Because is a bribe you pay to be allowed to be clear. Warmth returns after law. Offer it on schedule, not on demand. Warmth without gates becomes a swamp. Warmth behind a gate becomes a garden. Forgiveness lives in present behavior, not in past apology. If they pay the fee, honor the gate, respect the scope. You open the door they earned. If they perform regret and request the old subsidy, you end early. Metrics end mythology. Keep tracking. Seconds from impact to exhale. Silence count. 5-second holds after decisions. Window integrity. Percent of protected hours kept. Scope discipline. Tweaks priced or sent to phase 2. Aftermath leverage. Slights converted into assets. Case study shipped. Clauses added. Rate raised. Waitlist growth. 2 drops in a row. You're being captured. Correct in 24 hours. You want the final stress test? The pile-on that used to melt you? Scene. Town hall. Mic is hot. A critic stands up. You're rigid. You don't listen. Old you would write a novel with your mouth. New you, exhale. This is dominance disguised as virtue. Decision stands. Silence. Hold 5. They ramble, you cut. We'll review data Friday with the owner. Stand. Leave. You didn't win applause. You kept the throne. Another scene. Family dinner. Guilt arrow. You've changed. Exhale. Then the gate. I'm available Tuesday at 2 or Thursday at 10 to help with the move. No essay about your heart. Service on schedule. Love with a law. One more. Your favorite temptation. Saving the day. A friend texts at midnight. Please, quick look. Thank you. Rush review exists. If they can't, you don't bleed to prove you care. You protect tomorrow's mission. I'll say the quiet thing out loud. Being unshaken will cost you people who were nourished by your tremble. Let them go with grace and gates. What you gain is rarer. Rooms that slow when you enter. Decisions that land in fewer words. Silence that does more than shouting ever did. Allies who pay before they pull. Opponents who calibrate before they speak. Machiavelli would tell you this plainly. Rulers aren't loud. They're arranged. They arrange their breath. They arrange their posture. They arrange their endings. So, arrange. Arrange your mornings with stillness before speech. Arrange your windows before the world's urgency. Arrange your sentences before the room's theater. Arrange your exits before their bait. Arrange your law before their feelings. You want it to be unshaken in any confrontation. Here is the spine you'll use. Exhale first. Lower by a note. Name the test. Choose the weapon. Deliver the line. Hold 5. Repeat once. End if mocked. End if mocked. If you remember nothing else, remember this. You don't need to be right to be sovereign. You need to be unchanged. Again, carry that into the heat. Watch the world move around you for once. Final command. Like this video if you're done letting other people spend you with speed, volume, and bait. Subscribe if you're ready to become the kind of person they can't rush, can't rattle, and can never move without your consent. Because this isn't self-help, this is war.